concepts of poor family and rich family often conjure stark images, representing the extremes of economic reality. Yet, beneath these surface distinctions lies a complex tapestry of lived experiences, opportunities, and systemic challenges. This exploration aims to move beyond simplistic labels. We will analyze the profound differences in how wealth, or its absence, shapes lives from birth through adulthood. Our objective is to foster a deeper understanding of the mechanisms that perpetuate these disparities, inviting critical thought and informed discussion. Defining poor and rich extends far beyond mere income figures. Poverty often signifies a lack of essential resources, including stable housing, nutritious food, and adequate healthcare. It represents a constant struggle for basic needs. Conversely, wealth implies not just abundance, but also security, choice, and access to a vast array of resources. It provides a buffer against unforeseen circumstances and opens doors to opportunities. The divide is therefore about more than money. It is about access and agency. For children in low-income families, early development can be significantly impacted by resource scarcity. Limited access to quality nutrition, safe environments, and stimulating educational materials can hinder cognitive and physical growth. Stressors like housing instability or food insecurity are often present. In contrast, children from affluent backgrounds typically benefit from enriched environments. They have access to high-quality childcare, diverse learning tools, and often, parents with more time and resources to invest in their development. This early advantage can compound over time. These foundational differences create divergent starting lines, influencing everything from language acquisition to emotional regulation. The cumulative effect of these early experiences can shape a child's trajectory for decades. Access to quality education is a primary differentiator. Children from low-income families often attend underfunded schools with fewer resources, larger class sizes, and less experienced teachers. Extracurricular activities and private tutoring are often out of reach. Wealthier families can afford to send their children to well-resourced public schools in affluent districts or private institutions. They can also invest in supplemental education, test preparation, and college counseling. This creates a significant academic advantage. The disparity extends to higher education. While scholarships exist, the overall cost of college, coupled with a lack of generational knowledge about navigating the application process, can be prohibitive for many low-income students. This limits future career prospects. Health outcomes are deeply intertwined with socioeconomic status. Poor families often face higher rates of chronic illness due to limited access to healthy food, safe living conditions, and preventative healthcare. Stress from financial insecurity also takes a toll. Rich families typically have access to comprehensive health insurance, specialized medical care, and healthier lifestyle options. They can afford nutritious diets, regular exercise, and stress-reducing activities. This contributes to better long-term health. Mental health disparities are also pronounced. The constant pressure of poverty can lead to higher rates of anxiety, depression, and trauma. Access to mental health services, however, is often limited by cost and availability for those in need. Social capital, the value derived from social connections, is a crucial, often invisible asset. Individuals from affluent families typically inherit or cultivate extensive networks of influential contacts. These connections can provide mentorship, job opportunities, and business leads. For those in poverty, social networks may be strong within their immediate community but often lack connections to broader economic opportunities. These networks are vital for survival and mutual support, but may not facilitate upward mobility. The ability to leverage these networks for career advancement or financial gain is a significant advantage for the wealthy. It creates a self-reinforcing cycle where connections lead to opportunities, which in turn lead to more connections. The pathways to upward mobility are often steeper for those born into poverty. Limited access to quality education, healthcare, and social networks can restrict career options and earning potential. Intergenerational poverty can become a persistent cycle. Conversely, children from wealthy families often inherit not just financial capital, but also human and social capital. They benefit from established businesses, investment portfolios, and a clear path to higher-paying professions. This facilitates intergenerational wealth transfer. The concept of the American dream of upward mobility faces significant challenges in this context. While individual effort is important, Systemic barriers and inherited advantages play a profound role in determining one's economic trajectory. Societal perceptions of poor and rich families are often shaped by stereotypes. Poor families are sometimes unfairly characterized as lacking ambition or making poor choices, overlooking the systemic barriers they face. This can lead to stigmatization. Rich families, while often admired for their success, can also face stereotypes of being out of touch or privileged without effort. These oversimplifications prevent a nuanced understanding of the complexities of wealth accumulation and its responsibilities. These perceptions can influence policy decisions and public discourse, sometimes hindering effective solutions. A balanced view requires acknowledging both individual agency and the powerful influence of structural factors. The divide between poor and rich families is not solely a result of individual choices. It is deeply influenced by policy and systemic structures. Tax laws, educational funding, healthcare access, and labor regulations all play a role in shaping economic outcomes. Policies that support affordable housing, universal healthcare, quality public education, and fair wages can significantly mitigate the effects of poverty. Conversely, policies that favor capital over labor or reduce social safety nets can exacerbate inequality. Understanding these systemic factors is crucial for addressing the root causes of economic disparity. It shifts the focus from individual blame to collective responsibility and the potential for structural change. Beyond the statistics and analyses, it is vital to remember the human stories behind these economic classifications. Each family, regardless of their financial standing, navigates unique challenges, aspirations, and daily realities. Empathy requires us to look beyond the labels and recognize the inherent dignity and complexity of every individual's experience. It means understanding that circumstances often dictate choices, and opportunities are not equally distributed. The comparison between poor and rich families reveals a profound societal chasm, shaped by a multitude of interconnected factors. From early development to educational attainment, health outcomes, and social networks, the disparities are pervasive. Addressing this divide requires more than just acknowledging its existence. It demands a critical examination of systemic inequalities, a commitment to equitable policies, and a collective effort to foster a society where opportunity is truly accessible to all.